Alright, so we're here in my son's room, and we are looking at our HeroClix collection and how to store it best. So, this is my son Caden, and we're starting to get quite the collection at this point, and now we're just trying to figure out how we're going to really store it best. And I've kind of had my own little way of doing it, and I'm going to show that to you. And I picked up two different options today that I'm trying to think about what would be best. I'm open to suggestions and still trying to figure out what I'm going to do best. And so this has actually worked really well so far. It's got a flap here, and as you can see, this is kind of my ghetto redneck duct tape situation. And as you open up the box, it's kind of nice because what I've done is I've taken some cardboard on the table saw and cut it into some slots, and kind of measured it out so that I had 8 by 10, and so in each slot or in each flat here I've got capability for 80 HeroClix. Then I started getting into, okay, well, what am I going to do with, double figures? What am I going to, with the double size pieces? And I thought, well, I guess for now what I'll do is I'll just bend one of the cardboard ends, or I could tear it out if I get a bunch of them. And now I've got a case of Wolverine versus X-Men on its way, and that's going to be a whole bunch of figures, including a team base or two. So I really got to figure out how I'm going to do this. So in this box, it's actually been really nice so far. I've been able to use it. These boxes are just kind of duct taped together. They're really sturdy, but and I really like the fact that every single HeroClix, I can look at it from above, and I can see that, I can look in and say, okay, this Hulk, okay, so he's, so many points, and I can see, oh well, there's my Doctor Doom, there's my Man-Thing Howard Duck, and it's really easy for me to find. And then underneath that, I have another 80 HeroClix.
Aww.
So what's really neat about this box, did I hit you in the head with that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What's nice about this box is that I went out later as an afterthought, and I used to have just my cards and stuff just kind of sitting in here, and they kind of flopped around. But then I found these deck boxes, and they fit perfectly in here, and it totally wasn't anything that I planned. So I store all my cards in there. Really not organized. I've kind of put this separator in for older cards that I'm more familiar with, and some of the newer cards that I'm still learning, and still trying to organize well. A lot of my Amazing Spider-Man and stuff is in there. Then I'm keeping a lot of my dice in this other box. I've got some team abilities in here that I keep, a bunch of different dice, rolling dice, token dice that I can keep in there. So that works out nicely and keeps them all kind of in one spot. And then I can keep all my rule books. I've got a few different versions. I don't know why I'm keeping the older ones, but I've got my objects and hammers in here from Fear Itself, relics and whatnot, and then I've got my different packs. And then for really big figures, I've got no other way to store them but to just kind of shove them in here. And this is an older Dragon Man in there. So I've been trying to figure out, alright, what am I going to do? How am I going to store these better? And I've been kind of thinking, now that I'm getting more figures, what am I going to do? How am I going to organize this? I've been kind of forced to keep some of the booster pack boxes and keep the figures inside as I get new ones. But then, as you can see in this box, it's really getting to be a mess. So I've got to find a better way to organize it all. And I've got my all my maps and scenario packs inside a plastic bag from Comic Book Day. So I've just been, wherever I go, I take these two boxes, so I look real classy. Some people are really impressed with my box that I created here. And then I went into the and it's just, it's starting to fall apart a little bit, but it's still holding up pretty well. So I thought, all right, well that worked pretty well. Maybe I could create something without cardboard and use wood. And this is actually, it's probably just a composite press wood or something, but this is something I did on the bandsaw. Same idea. I now need to create the sides and figure out some sort of way to contain it so it's a little bit more solid. Now this is made out of some paneling that I had that I tore down in my basement when I was doing a remodel. So same deal. It's a little bit harder to put together once you get the slots in. I had to use a rubber mallet. But I really like this because you can see right in there. They're all going to be protected. I mean, this is really solid. So that's nice. But then today I was looking online because I am getting so many more figures now that I'm trying to figure out how best to do it. So I found two other solutions that I kind of thought were neat. So I went online and there's one guy that is keeping, I found this one guy that's keeping it all inside one of these Plano tackle boxes. Now inside here there's four Plano 3700 tackle pieces, if I can get one out. And they are nice little tackle boxes. And you know, they're decent. I don't know how many I could fit in one of these. I mean, if I grab some figures here, I grab a row of figures I got. Hold on one second. You know, I've just got some mix match in here. You know, here's a larger figure, which it'll be nice to kind of, because I can't fit him in one of my slotted pieces. It'll be nice to kind of be able to put him in, but even then, he's kind of big, so I'd have to put him into another section. What is this? This is the Batwing from the Batman set. You know, and some figures you could lay down next to each other. You can set some of them up if they're not too tall, so that's nice. I really like the fact that you can stand them up in this, but some of them, you know, say a World Breaker Hulk, or you know, this guy here, you just can't stand them up and then close the box. You can't. It's going to crush them. So I don't know. This is really nice because I saw a guy that keeps all his token dice and his, you know, battlefield conditions and everything in here on one side pocket. Then he keeps, you know, figure cards or whatever over in this pocket. And then in this front pocket, if you fold your maps correctly, you can fit it all in here. And it has some little compartments for other stuff that would be nice. But I just don't know. I don't know if, you know, I'm actually thinking about laminating my maps because it just seems to be a nice thing to do. So I'm trying to think about a better way to do it, but I just don't know if that's right either. What I like about this is that it seals up. I can have, you know, organized sets, and I can close this all up, and it's got a shoulder strap so I can carry it. But then I kind of thought of a hybrid of those two. I really wanted a nice way to enclose it all and still be able to see from the top, like my old box. Now these, I'll be able to fit some of them in like that, but not a lot. I'm not going to be able to fit 80 figures into a small area. It's just not going to work. And if I do, I would want more dividers and figure out ways to really do it. And I don't think I can fit one of those deck box inside one of these. I think it'd just be too thick. So now I'm looking at this. Now this may not be as travel friendly, but I'm thinking that I could take a table saw and make something like this that will fit down into size inside one of these drawers, and I can then take it out and I can be able to see inside, and when I'm done checking for my figures I can slide it back in. Then I had an idea that I could get a bungee cord to help go from one side all the way around to the top, clip on the back, and it holds it real tight so none of it's going to come flying out, because these drawers just do kind of slide. So if I was to take it to a tournament or an event and put it in the car, you can see those would fly right out. So if I can create kind of a hybrid, create my slots, make it so that it fits right in here. And I've kind of checked some of my figures. They fit real nice in there. I can put some either cardboard or wooden slats inside so that they fit just right, and then they won't move around. And then I can even put my cards and my deck boxes in there, and my maps will all fit inside as well, because my maps fit nicely in there, and I can stack them nicely, and then maybe create an area for my dice and my tokens and stuff like that. And that's not too large that I can't carry it into a venue. It's not, you know, it's not too ridiculous. At least it doesn't look like a cardboard box with duct tape all over it. So that's it. You know, I get all these different ideas that I can do. I like my old way so I can still see from the top. I like this because it's going to be easy to transport and carry. I just don't know if there's going to be enough space for everything. And I like this, but it again is kind of the middle of the road. It's kind of a little ghetto, little redneckish, but I like the fact that I could open these drawers really easily and see what I got. Alright, and just as a little update here, I kind of set some figures in here, different sizes, and I'm noticing a lot of the figures will not stand up. Even some of these smaller or, you know, fairly regular size Iron Man figures, when you close this, they're really starting to push down. So it's not going to work the way I really want it to. Some of these smaller figures are going to be just fine. You know, they can stand up and I can see them well and I can organize them the way I want. But even, you know, even this normal Iron Man, as you can see, sticks up over the top. So he's not going to be able to fit in there. So now I'm looking at, you know, rearranging them like this. And this isn't organized. I mean, this is just as disorganized as the mess in the box that I had. And you really gotta dig them out. Oh geez, you know, now I can look at the figure and see how many points and whatever. That's, you know, that's fine. So it might work for some people, but I'm a little anal about that. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it'll work, but even these little figures I'm gonna have to take out, and I'm only gonna be able to put short figures into this. Now they make some Plano boxes that are a little bit deeper I could look into. I don't know. I'm gonna look into that. But I did take out one of the drawers from the Tupperware or Sterilite piece that I had here. It's about that big, and I looked at my cutout from my original box, and you can see that I could fit 7 by 7 in there. So that's 49 figures inside one. This is about 32 figures. And, you know, there's fairly, you know, good sized pieces in there. Obviously, pieces like Fallen One, he's just too tall. He's going to have to go into a longer slot. You know, I could take out some of these on the end for longer figures, but depending upon the set, it's going to be, you know, really limiting. I may have the entire outside rim is, you know, a 2x2 space, 2x2, 2x2, and then what am I going to do if I, you know, get a real big piece or a team base? I may have to find another storage option. So I don't know. I like this better because I can pull the drawer out and I can look right in there and see it. And it seems like it's going to be a little bit more sturdier. The pieces aren't going to, you know, move around and get damaged, or, you know, as they, you know, as they lean, are they going to, you know, some of these pieces are kind of flimsy, and as you lean them down, the pieces are not, you know, they're not hard plastic. They're kind of a soft, pliable plastic sometimes. So are they going to warp and bend, and am I going to be able to sell them if I want, because they're kind of messed up? So that's kind of an update. Definitely interested in hearing any suggestions you guys have. Thanks.